13 second-half turnovers. They have got to clean that up tonight.
They really do, and it starts from the get-go.
And we are underway here in Murfreesboro. Florida Atlantic looking to pick up their 10th win tonight. They come into this game with a 9-5 mark. Middle Tennessee 3-11. Runner can't go as Reggie Scurry gets the first rebound of the game. Starting five for Middle Tennessee, the same lineup as we saw earlier this week. Donovan Sims, Jace Johnson, Antonio Green, Carl Gamble, and Reggie Scurry. Nick McDivitt shortening that bench as well for Middle Tennessee the last couple of games. Just 7 players seeing action as Green's first three is up and good.
Beautiful play to get Green the wide open look. Carl Gamble, the forward for the Blue Raiders, set a nice screen off the pass to get him that wide open look.
He had 11 three-point attempts on Thursday night, knocked down 3 of them en route to a 23-point game as Forrest will clang it off the back of the glass. Gamble out and running. The big man with a nice touch with the right hand.
Nice start to the ball game for Carl Gamble. Mentioned it last possession, got a nice screen to give Green an open look. That time he gets out on the break, hustles, and gets an easy bucket.
Gamble making his 7th straight start as Zečević can't find the touch in front of the rim as there's the starting 5 for Florida Atlantic. Gamble in transition, and that's an easy call for the officials as the big 6'9" Carl Gamble left his feet a little bit too early to make that pass.
Yeah, he did, and that's something that's starting to be a tendency for him. On Thursday night here at home at the Murphy Center, he got called for a couple of offensive fouls, and already not even a minute and a half into this one, just a little bit out of control there.
Anthony Adger, Michael Forrest, Mujao Niang, Simeon Lepichev, and Alexander Zečević, the starting 5 for the Owls. Zečević, who missed that shot earlier, getting his first career start. And there he is going to work with the left hand on Hawthorne. Can't get that to go. Fight for the rebound, and that's going to go against the Owls.
Strictly man-to-man to open up the game for the Blue Raiders. Defensively, they will switch it up to a zone at different times. They'll press you, they'll back off, but so far it's been strictly half-court man-to-man.
Foul will be charged against Mujao Niang, the freshman from Senegal. One of 6 players on this FAU roster born outside of the United States. 2 from Canada, 1 from Senegal, Serbia, Bulgaria, Latvia. Middle Tennessee also has a little international flavor on their roster as well, with Junior Farquhar from Ontario, Canada. As that ball's loose, as Richardson Maitre from Montreal, Canada, got on the floor for the Owls for it. There's a look at our coaches tonight. Dusty May and Nick McDivitt, both first-year head coaches. Of course, Dusty May spent the last 3 seasons at Florida under head coach Mike White. Had a lot of success there in Gainesville as that jumper is short. And Scurry with an offensive rebound. Sims for 3. And here come the Owls.
Got to secure the rebound on the first time if you're FAU. Got lucky that time.
Adger drives and finishes. And Anthony Adger, the senior from Anderson, South Carolina, is the leading scorer for this Florida Atlantic squad. Green, step back. Got it.
Nice start for Antonio Green. We go back to a possession to go for the Owls. Anthony Adger has got to be able to score consistently throughout this ball game for Florida Atlantic to be able to put up the amount of points it's going to take to win this ball game.
He's got 5 of the Blue Raiders' first 7. Zečević, and he's fouled. Looks like they're going to get Hawthorne on the hack. That'll be the first on James, and the second against Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, he tried to catch himself on the rim there to avoid the contact, but wasn't able to do so. And Zečević going to get a couple of looks at it from the free throw line, and they've got to capitalize. When you're Florida Atlantic, you're a team that's got a couple of your leading scorers out. You've got to find ways to be able to sort of manufacture baskets, if you will, and one of those ways is by getting to the free throw line. So they got an early attempt here. Let's see if they capitalize.
And head coach Nick McDivitt for Middle Tennessee going to TJ Massenberg. The junior did not play in the last couple of games as Zečević knocks down the first. Transfer from San Jacinto College in Texas. Seen his playing time double the last 4 games as he will take a seat in favor of Karlis Cilic, another international player on this Owls roster. Cilic from Latvia, and another one of the freshmen.
He's a youngster, but he's got a lot of tools, physical tools to work with. He's pretty athletic for his size, 6'11".
Yeah, one of 5 freshmen that sees time for this Owls squad as the freshman Jason Johnson for the Blue Raiders knocks down the elbow jumper.
Johnson had a strong second half. We talk about Middle Tennessee not being able to close in the second half. Well, one guy that did his part offensively was Jace Johnson. 4 and 1 opportunities in the second half of Thursday's ballgame.
Yeah, all within the span of about 3.5 minutes as Cilic's shot was deflected at the rim, and here come the Raiders. Johnson shoves off, no call, tries to use the glass, can't get it to go, and Michael Forrest picks up the rebound. Forrest, another one of the freshmen. It's going to see a lot of time in this Owls lineup.
Look a little out of sorts offensively.
10 on the shot clock. Forrest will pull up, and that's off the front iron, and a big rebound from Donovan Sims. Green slicing, pulls up. Almost got the shooter's roll.
Yeah, he didn't get it to go, but Middle Tennessee right now, a couple of their leading scorers, the guy Jace Johnson and Antonio Green, they're playing with a lot of confidence.
Adger's runner is good.
Speaking of confidence, no fear. Take it right to the basket.
He was the leading scorer for the Owls on Thursday night, Anthony Adger. The only player for the Owls in double figures. He had 18 as Forrest knocks down the pass. So they're going to say it's off the fingertips of Antonio Green with 15-19 to go here in the first half. Middle Tennessee has an early lead, 9-6. Stay with us. Already 2 of 3 from the floor with 5 points. Sluggish start for the Owls out of the gate, just 2 of 8 from the floor.
You see Middle Tennessee sliding back into this half-court zone out of that timeout.
Kevon Ellis has checked in for Florida Atlantic, and there he is with a runner short. And another big rebound from Donovan Sims. He had 9 boards the other night against FIU, a career high. And 1 rebound short of a double-double as Antonio Green is able to save it. Dangerous pass. Sims drives. Offensive foul. That'll be the first on Sims. As there's a look at the series history between these two teams. Middle Tennessee leads the all-time series 19-4, including 9 wins here at the Murphy Center out of 11 games. 12 straight wins for Middle Tennessee going back to January 2012. Stapleton, long 3. That's short. And Stapleton seeing his first action in 7 games. Transfer from Mississippi State. And Gamble. Not the most nimble of moves, but it works.
It was a tough play. Florida Atlantic tried to hedge that ball screen, and when you do that, you're going to bring basically 2 guys out to guard the guard for a moment. And in that moment, Gamble slipped towards the basket. They found him quick enough before the defense could recover, and that's what gave him a layup.
We weren't sure if Xavion Stapleton was going to play in this game tonight. As we mentioned, has not played in the last 7, but his presence is certainly welcome as there he is with a big offensive rebound. Takes the contact, can't get the tip to go, and we head back the other way. But he is a double-digit scorer, averaging 11 points per contest in those 7 games for the Owls.
Watch him in warm-ups. You see he's obviously got that big, thick knee brace on that left knee. He's moving around fairly well, though.
Sims from deep. And a rebound by Kevon Ellis, freshman from Ontario, Canada. Actually played his high school ball at Hamilton Heights Christian Academy in Chattanooga. And unfriendly rims here in the first half for the Owls. 1 for their last 8.
Hamilton Heights, speaking of that, that's a school that's put out a lot of good college basketball players, both men's and women's, the past few years.
Zečević. Having trouble around the rim early. Officials kind of letting him play a little bit underneath the rim.
Players like that now. Until you're the one shooting.
Exactly, yeah. Stapleton will pull it. In and out. And that's just the kind of time it's been the first 7 minutes for Florida Atlantic. Now here's Stapleton with the theft on Johnson, going up with the right hand. Welcome back, Mr. Stapleton.
Finish it, Xavier. Over the defender. The crowd goes silent except for a few Florida Atlantic fans, and they're being heard, the ones that made the long trek up to Middle Tennessee. Wow, what a play.
3-point lead for Middle. Junior Farquhar has checked back in, as has James Hawthorne from Middle Tennessee. Johnson, not much of a 3-point shooter. Has not hit one all season long, actually. Thought about it, but we're going to have a foul on the block. This one's going against Stapleton, his first.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee's done a really nice job of getting their bigs the ball in position to score early on in the ball game and early on in the shot clock, so they don't have to rush. You feel rushed. You've seen Carl Gamble be the beneficiary of that a couple of times. Hawthorne picked up a foul because of that time.
Tough pass from Farquhar. Looked like Forrest got a hand on it. And it'll stay with Middle Tennessee with 19 on the shot clock. Sims shakes, step back. Didn't go out on that jumper. And here come the Owls. A-Tray drives, hangs, hard off the back iron. And here comes Jace Johnson. Sims pulls up. Now Farquhar makes the same move, pulls up from the free throw line and knocks it down.
Farquhar guy, if you're a Middle Tennessee fan, 3.5 points per game. He fluctuates. I mean, it's not like he scores 2 or 3 points every game. Some games he'll put up 6 or 7. Sometimes he won't score. It's nice to see him get a look early and knock it down.
He's actually been scoreless in the last 3 games and 3 of the last 4. Just 3 of 16 from the floor coming into this game in the last 4 games. Forrest for 3. Tried to pull the Victor Oladipo bank. And the shooting woes continue for the Owls.
Watch how early the Blue Raiders get into their offense. Normally they have been getting into their offense significantly, really by the time the shot clock's got 20 seconds left on it.
Hawthorne from the baseline knocks down the jumper.
That's a shot he works on every day in practice, out here early before the games and their walkthroughs. If he gets that shot, he'll take it.
He's already matched his total from Thursday night against FIU. Just 2 field goal attempts against the Panthers on Thursday night. Ellis for 3 in the corner, and that one can't go either. Zečević with a big offensive rebound. And they're gonna get a foul on Jace Johnson. 10:46 to go here in the first. Middle Tennessee 15, FAU 8. Mr. Stapleton, welcome back. So the game will be covered from every single angle imaginable. And I'm excited for that one. What's this, the 4th time in a row these 2 teams have played in the playoffs?
Seems like about the 10th. I know that's not accurate, but 2 quality football teams.
3 in the corner from Yang is no good. Just a 14% 3-point shooter on the season. And a bad entry pass from Carl Gamble as he was looking for Reggie Scurry.
5th turnover for the Blue Raiders. The Owls of FAU, Jake, no turnovers so far. They really haven't played poorly. They just haven't been able to knock down shots. 3 of 19 from the field. That's 16% for you statisticians at home. You know, they're not playing poorly other than that. They just got to start knocking down some shots. They've gotten good looks, though.
Forrest drives, and there's Niang. Easy layup for the big fella.
Beautiful bounce pass by the young freshman Forrest. Get it in there to the big fella.
The freshman Niang from Senegal, spent last year a prep year at DME Academy in Daytona Beach, Florida. As Reggie Scurry is on the board for the first time today, giving the Blue Raiders a 7-point lead. Zusevic, 3 seconds.
It's the right call. He had good position, but there's a reason. He's camped out in there.
At the top of the broadcast, we let you know that Florida Atlantic would be shorthanded tonight. Obviously, Xavion Stapleton is back. He missed 7 games, but Jalen Seabury dislocated his shoulder on Thursday night against UAB a couple of times. So he is out tonight. He's over on the sideline with a sling. Of course, the leading scorer and rebounder for the Owls, Jalen Ingram, only played 10 games before he tore his ACL against Arkansas State as Junior Farquhar able to finish at the rim.
Nice finish there over the bigger defenders, muscling his way inside.
Green with the pass, going the other way, and able to lay it in.
The first turnover for FAU comes at the 9-minute mark in the first half. Not a bad start.
And now a double-digit lead for Middle Tennessee. Adger goes up and he's fouled.
Has tough defense by Farquhar. He was in good position, but I think he got him with the body as he went up.
Foul will be on Farquhar, his first, and the 16th foul against Middle. Adger knocks down the first, a 78% free throw shooter. Started all 14 games this season, 7 straight double-figure games. And he has really stepped up for his team in the absence of Ingram and Stapleton, averaging 18 points per contest over the last 7 games. And he's actually now surpassed the 400 mark, 400 career point mark, I should say. 402 career points as an Owl.
Owls back in this zone now.
Backdoor lob to Scurry, can't handle it on the way up. And Zesovic comes down with it.
Nearly a nice alley-oop there, but a nice job by the Owls to secure that rebound once the deflection had occurred.
Excuse me, that was Simeon Lepijev. Stapleton baseline, can't get the runner to go.
Nice baseline cutoff there by the postman for the Blue Raiders. Really, if he doesn't get over there, it's probably a layup or a dunk.
Middle, 5 of their last 6 from the floor. Green, pull up 3. Yes, sir.
He knew that was going in as soon as it left his hands. He was jumping up as a reaction. Beautiful shot there. He's got a nice stroke from beyond the arc.
And he's already got 10. He's 4 of 5 from the floor. As Lepichev with the left hand. Can't get the kiss off the glass to go. Green stutter steps. And Mosley can't finish it, but he was fouled, and he will head to the line for 2. So Middle Tennessee out front by a dozen with 7:30 to go here in Murfreesboro, trying to pick up their 13th straight win against the Owls. Stay with us right here on ESPN+.
When you're standing on the edge of discovery, what do you see?
We see the ocean. Limitless.
Endless.
To me, this is a story about what are they going to do in the second half. But obviously, it's an easier thing to do and hold that lead if you can continue to expand upon this 12-point lead, now a 13-point lead after Mosley hits the first of 2 from the charity stripe.
Lawrence Mosley has not taken a free throw until roughly 15 seconds ago, and he banked the first free throw attempt of the season. 3 ball, in and out. FAU now 4 of 23 from the floor. Meanwhile, Middle Tennessee, 61% from the floor here early. Green, another step back. This one's off the front iron.
Better defense that time by Adger. Staying out front, really trying to eliminate any space that Antonio Green would have on that shot.
Niang looking for help. Adger's gonna pull it again. Line drive is off the front iron. Forrest comes down with it, but Middle Tennessee's going the other way with it. Here's Green. Hand in his face, short. Tried to shoot over the 6'11" Schillich. Forrest. That won't go. FAU now 0 for 9 from 3-point lane.
Green doing, we talked about on offense, he's doing a nice job on the defensive end, not just playing defense against his man. He's done a nice job getting rebounds on the defensive side as well.
Sims around Stapleton, goes up in the air, takes the contact. Hawthorne can't finish the follow-up, and he's out of bounds. And the Owls will take over as the junior Cedric Jackson from Orlando, Florida, will check in as looks like Forrest takes a seat. There's a look at head coach Nick McDivitt. He's named the 20th head coach in Middle Tennessee history back on March 24th. Spent 5 seasons at UNC Asheville. Jackson might have got away with steps, still shorts it. Adger drives, looking for Niang, and he shorts it. Niang gets his own rebound and goes up with it. And that can't go. There is a lid on the rim for the Owls tonight.
And again, they're not getting bad shots. Yeah, that's a shot from a guy 6'9", getting a shot from 3 or 4 feet away. You'll take that every time.
Scurry, guarded by Schillich. Going to work, tries to finish with the left hand, and he does.
Beautiful pump fake, and he knows that. He's smiling. Look at him there. Lovely, lovely move by Scurry.
Maitre drives, looking for a foul, and the offensive woes are never ending for FAU. Hawthorne for 3. And Niang with a rebound. 15-point lead for Middle Tennessee with 4:55 to go.
A couple plays in a row, Adger's gotten away with the push-off.
Another quick trigger. This one is short, and Schillich is going to be charged with the over-the-back.
And I mentioned that about Adger because at that time, knowing that he got a little bit of a push-off last time, the guy guarding Adger, Donovan Sims, sort of sold it a little bit. That's twice in a row, so I wonder, we'll see the next time down if they may try to call that. Nice rebound by Hawthorne coming up through a little bit of contact. We talked about the Middle Tennessee coaching staff and how, you know, they're obviously new to this program, this being their first year. On the other side, obviously, FAU's coaching staff, the same situation. Actually, the 6th youngest coaching staff when you put all their coaches together in all of America.
Yeah, also one of the youngest rosters in the entire country as Green's going to pull it again. This one's well short. 11 new players on this FAU squad as that pass is off the hands of Lepichev. But yeah, 11 new players for the Owls, 5 freshmen, 3 junior college transfers, 2 undergrad transfers, and 1 grad transfer in Xavier Stapleton.
And as much as it is an adjustment, getting used to your players playing your style as Hawthorne gets caught, didn't really know what to do with it there, and nice defensive play to kind of force him into that situation. But you know, it's not just about what you do on the court as a coaching staff when you take over a new program with so many new players. Jake, a lot of it is how do you manage the personalities? Because not only are these guys new to you, they're new to each other. They don't know each other. A lot of them are from different countries. They're from different colleges, different high schools. So there's a lot to manage for a new coaching staff. I think both of these coaching staffs have done a pretty good job of that so far.
Lepichev to Zesovic. He goes up with the right hand, and that'll end the drought.
That's a pretty move. You got him with the pump fake, got him up in the air, tried to draw contact, wasn't able to, but still, nice finish. Kiss it off the glass.
And that ends a 4-minute and 35-second drought for the Owls. Lead back to 13 and another turnover. Here comes Adger. 2 steps, goes up with the left hand, and he's able to finish. And that's going to draw a quick timeout from the Middle Tennessee sideline. With 3:35 to go, FAU trying to climb back into this one. Here, turn the ball over 4 times in less than 4 minutes. They already have 9 turnovers, even though they lead by 11. Full court pressure from the Owls. And Alex, this is exactly what we saw from FIU on Thursday night. Panthers were down as much as 14 with 12 minutes to go in the second. They put on that defensive pressure and really turned the tide of the game, forcing 13 second-half turnovers. And there's turnover number 10 for the Blue Raiders. And you can see the look on head coach Nick McDevitt's face. And I'm not a lip reader, but I think I caught a "what are you doing" in there.
Yeah, and you know, it's here we go again if you're Coach McDevitt, because you've seen this story where you get a lead and you start turning the ball over as a nice post play, can't finish right there. But you know, you've got to continue to play defense, fight your way through it, and just try to be smart with your passes.
Zesovic is struggling early. Just 1 of 5 from the floor so far. As Farquhar trying to get rid of it, can't. Finally finds Green. And now 10 on the shot clock.
At this point you say, hey, 55, go get you a bucket.
Scurry, travel.
And that's why. I mean, you get late in the shot clock and people start trying to force things. Go to your go-to guy. Antonio Green's the one guy on the court right now for Middle Tennessee that you can just say, hey, when everything else goes awry, just go get a bucket.
Let's send it over to the third member of our crew, Sarah Cardone.
During that last time out, FAU's head coach Dusty May was telling his team that he knows that nothing's going right in this game for them, but this is the game that they have to fight in. He says, keep giving it all you have. He's really trying to encourage them, told them to keep the energy up and to just defend better.
Thank you, Sarah. Anthony Adger knocks down to 3, and the lead is now back within single digits. And that was the first 3 of the night for the Owls. Took 10 tries, but they finally got there. Adger, step back. Count the bucket! Anthony Adger, the senior, says, jump on my back, guys. We're getting back in this game.
The 78% free throw shooter says, yeah, let me get the and one opportunity. What a play. Kind of fades back, get himself that space. And Farquhar, not really a smart play, just runs up underneath him as Adger's shooting. Let's see if he can do it 3-point the old-fashioned way.
And he does. Kind of interesting, very unorthodox shot from Adger. A noticeable hitch as he's trying to force another turnover. Sims finally comes up with it. And now it's taken away by Jackson. 8 turnovers in the last 5.5 minutes for Middle Tennessee. Adger again, short. But the Owls get the offensive rebound and a fresh 30. Minute 35 to go. 5-point game for Middle. And Lepichev was trying to find Zesovic on the block. And he threw a fastball when he needed to throw a changeup.
So now we're getting full court pressure again here from the Owls. If you're Middle Tennessee, one thing Hawthorne did last possession, or Scurry, excuse me, is he picked up his dribble. If you see defenders coming, don't pick up your dribble because then you're trapped. They're going to get Jace Johnson. He's a guy who can help handle the ball as Farquhar will exit the ball game. And again, for Middle Tennessee, defenders cannot run as fast as you can pass the ball. So it's about passing, and if you get stuck, don't pick up your dribble.
Not sure Hawthorne's the player you want bringing the ball up under pressure. 15 on the shot clock. Green hesitates. Almost traveled. Now Johnson with 10. And now he's taking it out to half court. Knocked away. 3 on the shot clock. Green's got to heave it. He does. And rebounded by Lepichev. Collins for three. Short. Excuse me, that's Jackson. Cedric Jackson, the junior. Quick trigger from Jackson. And the lead is now, or still, at 5. Scurry might have got away with a walk. Now Sims back to Scurry. Baseline, puts up the jumper and pure.
Beautiful, beautiful offensive basketball. Work the shot around, work the ball around. Get you a shot that you know you can hit. Wide open Scurry from about 10 feet out on the baseline. Beautiful job offensively. And now Middle Tennessee's back into the zone for the last possession of the first half.
10 seconds left in the first half. Middle up by 7.
Adger pointing to the shot clock.
Adger for 3. Got it! Green with the heave from half court. He nailed it! Antonio Green right back at you, Mr. Adger. So Middle Tennessee with a 32-25 lead heading into halftime. And let's send it on over to Sarah Cardona, who's with head coach Nick McDivitt.
Coach, FAU is 1 of 12 from 3. How has your team been able to defend the perimeter so well?
Well, honestly, I think about half of those we've done a nice job defending them, and the other half, I think they've missed some open looks. We can't count on that in the second half.
You said the key to winning this game was winning the rebound margin. So far you are 23-15. How do you keep that momentum up?
Well, just keep finding bodies. They started a really big lineup at 6'9", 6'9", 6'11" at the 3, 4, and the 5. So you really got to keep them off the glass. In 9 games, they're 8-1 when they out-rebound their opponent. So you got to keep doing the job there.
Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Nick. Middle Tennessee shooting 54% in the first half. They have got a 7-point lead. Thanks to the last-second 3 from Antonio Green. Halftime coming up. Welcome back to Murfreesboro. Middle Tennessee, a 32-25 lead. Middle trying to snap a 10-game losing streak. Trying to pick up their 4th win on the season. Matrek runs up and banks it off the glass hard. And the Owls strike first, and here they come with full court pressure. And Alex, look who starts the second half. Xavion Stapleton out front, putting pressure on Reggie Scurry. Yeah,
he's long, lengthy, makes it tough to get those passes off in the back court. Middle Tennessee was successful that time, though.
Scurry backing down Stapleton. Goes up with the right hand and just off the back of the rim. And Scurry will go to the line for 2. Let's send it on over to Sarah.
FAU's
the season. As Lepichev will check back in for Stapleton. After missing 7 games, Probably assumed that he'd be worked back into the lineup rather slowly.
Nothing else. Your conditioning is just, you cannot emulate game shape until you're out there doing it.
Mtsu running point now for the Owls as Adger in the lane. Floater rolls home. Adger's got 19. And another turnover. 14th turnover for Middle Tennessee. And so far, the Owls have been able to capitalize off those turnovers with 14 points.
I like to see them get in their offense quick this time with a purpose, as Middle Tennessee's again in this zone.
Niang in the corner. Now back to him. He drives baseline. Zesovic finally off the schneid, knocks down his second field goal.
Yeah, you hang around the lane enough, eventually you're going to find yourself in good position. And here comes another turnover.
Niang goes up with the right hand, blocked by Johnson from behind. Good recovery by the freshman. Now Sims, as the Owls drop back into a man-to-man. Johnson, and another turnover. Niang back-to-back steals. Euro step from the free throw line. Can't get it off the back iron.
You got numbers now.
And here comes Antonio Green, now looking to slow it down.
They didn't take advantage of it. Speaking of Antonio Green, he's been a little quiet the first couple of minutes of this second half.
Sims for three, misses everything. And Adger's got an easy rebound. Sims now 0 for 3 from behind the arc. There's the baseline jumper from Zesovic is too strong.
0 for 3 behind the arc and 0 for 5 from the field in general tonight. It's been a tough night for him, but you got to continue to attack the basket and get yourself good looks.
Had a career high 17 points against FIU on Thursday night as Zesovic gets another rebound. His third. Zesovic for three. Big fella, not much of a three-point shooter. He's only taken 8 attempts from behind the arc this season, knocked down 3 of them. Sims drives, and he ran straight into Lepichev. It was like a brick wall. Let's send it on over to Sarah Cardone.
FAU's head coach, Dusty May, said the first thing he told his players at halftime was to stay confident despite the missed layups and open shots. He said they can't rely solely on their defense to get the job done here. Jake?
Thank you, Sarah. 16:50 to go here in the second. Middle with a 2-point lead. That lead was as high as 15. That was with 5 minutes to go as Gamble, his three is off the mark. And Schillich comes up with the rebound.
Nice hedge by Hawthorne there, cutting off the passing lane.
Another three-point attempt. And this time, Lepichev's three is no good, but the Owls have an offensive rebound, and Schillich was shoved in the back by Carl Gamble.
Gamble's got to find a way to get more involved. He's got 4 points, 3 rebounds, and as a guy who's a starter for this team, one of the more experienced players on this entire Middle Tennessee roster coming into the season, he's got to be more impactful.
Had 9 starts a season ago as a sophomore. He's got 2 fouls here tonight. Adrian goes up, fading away, misses everything, but Lepichev right there can't get it to go. Another missed layup for the Owls. And here comes Green. Now Gamble, too strong.
I like the aggression there.
All the big guys having trouble with their touch tonight for both teams. Boris picks up his dribble. Adger, not sure if he was going for Schillich on the pick and roll or to Lepichev, but either way, it's a turnover for the Owls. That's their 5th turnover. 15:42 to go here in the second. Middle Tennessee with a 33-31 lead. Stay with us right here.
15 more shots put up by Florida Atlantic than Middle Tennessee, and a lot of that is we were talking about at the break. You're getting so many more opportunities because of the turnovers, and that's really, you know, honestly, that and Adger's scoring ability is really what's kept the Owls in the ballgame. There's another one.
Another bad turnover for Middle. There's Adger going up. He's fouled hard by Hawthorne, as it looked like James Hawthorne took a shoe to the face after he hit the deck, but he seems like he's all right. And now Adger has a chance to go to the line to add to his total. You saw there on the graphic in that lower left-hand corner, Adger outscoring his own team 19-12.
That's not something that typically you want to see happen, but sometimes you got to do things unorthodox in your ways. When you've got 2 or 3 of your leading scorers out, you've got to try to do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter if it's pretty all the time. You just got to try to put up points the way you can, and you got to take advantage of your free throw opportunities, though.
Had a career high 27 points last Saturday in that big dramatic overtime win against Illinois. Had the game-winning 3-point play as Hawthorne might have got away with a walk. Now Johnson, Middle's got to get it across the floor. They do. On the shot clock. Green bump. Johnson's got to heave it. He doesn't know how much time is left, and he misses everything. So complete lack of clock awareness from Middle Tennessee.
He's a freshman. That stuff happens, but it's just you hate to see it happen when it does, because like you said, that kind of cost him there. But it was a really, give credit though, the defense from FAU that time, not allowing anything easy.
Adger shot fake. Now Jackson drives, hangs in the air, tries to get his own rebound, and he does. And a fresh 30 for the Owls. And Jackson's 3 is no good, but Chilich with the offensive rebound, and the Owls, once down 15 with 5 minutes to go in the first, now have a 1-point lead. And Alex, it's the same old story. Another turnover for Middle Tennessee. We saw it on Thursday night. Turnovers. The bugaboo for Middle Tennessee. Their own worst enemy in a lot of ways. And those turnovers are rearing their ugly head up here tonight. Owls on a 7-0 run in the last 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Middle Tennessee 6 turnovers in that same span. Forrest with 10. Jackson's going to drive. Now Chilich over Scurry and the big fella. There's the touch we were looking for.
And he's a really nice looking player going forward. Just a redshirt freshman, so young, but he's so skilled, and he's got something you can't teach, which is height.
And Nick McDivitt has seen enough. He has to call a timeout. And with 13:44, Florida Atlantic, and 18 points.
Once they press, put some pressure on the defense, or on Middle Tennessee's offense, and here it goes again. Let's see if they can do a better job out of the timeout.
Middle being outscored in the second half, 11-1. And almost another turnover.
Well, and part of that was started by Hawthorne, a guy who you really don't want handling the ball under pressure in the backcourt. He gets it 1 foot behind the line.
3 on the shot clock. And Antonio Green bails his team out, and you could hear the crowd yelling 5 seconds on the shot clock. The entire Middle Tennessee bench was yelling 5 seconds on the shot clock. 0 clock awareness for the Blue Raiders tonight. Pass knocked out of bounds. Seen a lot of big guys passing into the post and not using bounce passes. You figure you're a post guy, you know you want a bounce pass in the post, yet we haven't seen a single one tonight.
They probably got the height advantage and think I can just toss it over, but when you're being guarded by a post player, not so easy.
Forrest on the baseline, and he's fouled. With 2 on the shot clock.
Coach is going to call out a bailout foul. Not a good foul. Not only was it late in the shot clock, 2 seconds on the shot clock at the time of the shot, but watch this. There's nowhere for him to go. He's falling out of bounds, off balance, almost behind the backboard. And there wasn't a big push there, but enough to draw the foul. And that's just something you've got to be smarter than that if you're a defender.
Foul is on Jace Johnson. That is his third. As Forrest, who's 68% free throw shooter, rims out the first of 2 attempts as Johnson, the freshman from Middle, will head to the pine. Forrest misses both. 36-35. FAU up 1. And it's not like Florida Atlantic has been playing outstanding. They're just 2 of their last 11 offensively. It's just they've been forcing so many turnovers. As you mentioned earlier, they've just had so many more shots. Currently 20 more field goal attempts for the Owls. Sims pulls up over the much taller Schillinch. And the 6'1" Donovan Sims gets it to go.
His first bucket of the game, he was 0 of 5 before that. And now 1 of 6. I'm sure he's glad to see one go through the rim.
Now Middle with a 1-point lead. Back door. Looking for Lepichev. He comes down with it.
Schillinch camping in the lane. That's a couple times that a big man for the Owls has been called for. He tried to argue, but that was an easy call.
And with 12 minutes remaining in the second half, back and forth we go. Middle Tennessee back out in front. They lead 37-36. We've got a good one going on here in the Borough. Don't go anywhere. You're watching College Hoops right here on ESPN+.
To try to emulate what he does well. Neither of these teams really passing the ball extremely well. You talked about the turnovers, just 8 assists between both teams combined in this ballgame. 10 seconds.
Yep, it's going to be a 10-second violation. Hawthorne probably got away with a travel as well.
Well, Jake, I don't understand it. First off, he continues to pick up his dribble when it's not necessary, but at a certain point, it's not on him. At a certain point, Jake, you've got to get the ball out of his hands and stop passing the ball back to him in a place where he's not comfortable to do it.
Right, they've got 3 guards on the floor.
Yeah, they've got capable guys out there.
You never see Antonio Green bring the ball, ever. He's always at the other end of the floor.
But he can do it because he does it on fast breaks. He does it when he gets offensive rebounds.
Stapleton from deep, yes, sir!
Nice shot from Stapleton. Welcome back, Xavier. Had a nice dunk in the first half. Gets on the board there. The nice triple.
Sims beats the press himself. The lob to Scurry, and he finishes. And the Murphy Center comes alive with the alley-oop, and we're tied at 39.
Much better. Breaking the press that time, but what they do, they got it out of Hawthorne's hands and into the hands of a guard who's much more comfortable driving down the court, and he uses aggression to find a teammate.
Stapleton again, he's going to pull it this time even deeper. This one is short, and Farquhar comes down with a rebound. So Stapleton trying to find his legs a little bit. Certainly found him in the first half when he dunked on Jace Johnson in transition. Farquhar, Sims, Hawthorne, Scurry, Green, the 5 on the floor for Middle. Scurry drives and slams it home! Reggie Scurry can get up.
Tomahawk that one, Jake. Cocked that right arm back. And heaven help the man who tries to get in his way when he's got his eyes set on a throwdown.
2-point lead for Middle. 5 on the shot clock. Maitre's got to pull it. He does. And he rims out the 3. Hawthorne with a big rebound.
Nice, strong rebound.
Sims, corner 3. Got it.
You can feel the momentum as Middle Tennessee is starting to feel a little bit of a rhythm. They're starting to play with a little confidence offensively. And FAU needs a timeout.
Middle has knocked down 5 straight shots. They are on a 7-0 run over the last minute and a half. They now have a 5-point lead, and Donovan Sims, the sophomore, knocking down shots.
We need to run, let's do it. And that time, again, didn't think about it too much. He just pulled the trigger when he was open. He's getting used to it. It just takes a while.
And during that Middle Tennessee run, Adger was not on the floor. And at that time, the Owls had 5 players on the floor that had combined for 11 points. That shows you how important Anthony Adger has been for FAU. Not only tonight, but the last month. 10 on the shot clock.
Yeah, struggling to get into their offense. Too much one-on-one.
A lot of Adger. Stapleton in the corner, step back over Scurry, misses everything. And Ellis tried to knock it off Hawthorne. But Middle Tennessee will get possession with 9:22 to go and a 5-point lead.
Had to dribble all the air out of the ball that time. I mean, you've got to swing the ball around and get it moving.
Farquhar, trying to stay out of the trap, actually went backwards into the backcourt. Now 20 on the shot clock for Middle. Seems like this is the most time they've had to shoot in the last 10 minutes.
They get something going inside. Too much swinging around the arc. You got to find somebody to get open inside the paint.
Sims tries, picks up the dribble. Now Farquhar goes up. Wild shot, tries to get his own rebound. Bodies flying, and Middle will get a fresh possession.
Good things tend to happen on basketball offensively for you when you get the ball in around the rim. Just get shots up. And that's the thing about the turnovers. They don't even give you a chance to get in there and get a rebound or get a foul called or anything. Even if you're not hitting the first shot, just at least get a shot up on the basket. Middle Tennessee nearly 20 shots less from the field in this ball game than FAU. But right now they're going to get a second opportunity. New shot clock.
Zhao Niang checks in for Ellis. Scurry backdoor. Caught the Owls napping, and Middle with a 7-point lead, 8:45 to go. Stapleton again from the corner, no, and Scurry comes down with it. Stapleton now just 1 of 6 from behind the arc.
Antonio Green's been quiet offensively here in the second half. Let's see if he can get himself going.
Sims, checked by Adger, step back 3. Just off the front of the rim, Scurry trying to stay with it. But Mtsu able to wrangle the rebound. Richardson Mtsu picks up his dribble.
Got a big-time size mismatch up. Farquhar trying to guard the much taller Stapleton if they can get it to him down low.
Niang from deep. Well off. About broke the backboard. The Owls just 3 of 22 in 3-point shots as Green drives, and Stapleton comes down with the rebound.
Another big size mismatch if they can get the ball to him.
Adger with the floater.
They didn't have to. Adger says, guys, I'm back. Let me get a shot at this. Makes them pay.
22 for Adger as Sims comes down with it, and Mtsu will be called for the foul after rolling up on Donovan Sims with 7:16 to go. We've got a great one going on here in Murfreesboro. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here on ESPN Plus. Middle by 5.
Three of 22 from beyond the arc, and I think here in the second half you've seen them start to settle a little bit. They're taking too many jump shots too early in the shot clock, or they're settling for threes. You got to drive the ball. Try to get in the paint. Try to get something going offensively, but right now they're settling.
Kick ball there. Florida Atlantic. Obviously all the injuries have begun to pile up for Dusty May's squad. Shot just 33% on Thursday against UAB. They never tied, they never had the lead. And they're struggling again here tonight offensively as they're only shooting 27%. They trail by 5. Adger turns it over. Here comes Jace Johnson. Driving to the middle, driving on Niang, swatted by Niang.
Nice block. See, Florida Atlantic has a lot of size mismatches, but you've got to work the ball and get it in the guy's hands. Here's one right here.
Shillich goes up. A nice touch again from the big fella.
Yeah, he's going to be a really, really good player going forward for the Owls. He's got a nice frame, as we've mentioned, to broker with. And if you're Middle Tennessee, 5 seconds before it's a 10-second call, you got to do something with it here.
Shillich, just a freshman from Riga, Latvia. Transfer from Ole Miss. Only played 8 games as green. 3 balls off the front iron. Only played 8 games for the Rebels. Injuries derailed his time in Mississippi as Adger goes up, takes a contact, and a late whistle as Niang came flying in.
So they're going to call it on Jace Johnson. It's the right call, but I'm wondering, it's his 4th call, but I'm wondering if, you see a nice block there from Niang. I wonder if they're going to call it a shooting or not. They are going to call it a shooting foul. And I was curious if maybe he was trying to pass that, but they're going to call it a shooting foul.
Adger back to the line for 2. Knocks down the first. The Owls now 7-10 from the charity stripe. Shot just 37% from the free throw line on Thursday night against UAB. 37%.
That's unheard of.
Adger knocks down the pair.
He's doing his part. 6-7.
1 point game. 5:40 to go. And now Antonio Green finally bringing it up. Hawthorne still bringing it up in the backcourt.
I don't get that. I don't understand that. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I don't get it. 2-3 zone now for the Owls. See how Middle Tennessee tries to attack this. Maybe get Hawthorne or somebody going scurry. Got to get it inside. There you go.
Scurry baseline, checked by Niang. Now Sims with 5, gonna have to do something with it. Tries to shake Forrest, and knocked out of bounds by Niang with 2 seconds left. Let's see what Middle has drawn up for this side out play.
And I'd say Florida Atlantic's gonna go back to a man since there's only 2 seconds on the shot clock right here. And I think that is exactly what they're gonna do.
Shillich on the ball on the much smaller Farquhar. Looking for Green, up over Lepichev, and he missed everything. Good defense by Simeon Lepichev on the elusive Antonio Green. So a good stop for the Owls. They trail by with 1.
Freshman on freshman right here. These two are going to get to know each other over the coming years.
Both of these teams really, both so young.
Yep.
Have a lot of potential going forward. Going right back to Shillich. And he gives the Owls a 1-point lead. The big fella eaten here in the second half.
Freshman not afraid of the big moment here.
Perfect from the floor, 4-4.
I love his game, and he's shown the touch, so he's not just a player at 6'11" who can do it inside. He's shown the ability to go outside a little bit as well.
Sims with 10. Now he's going to pull it from the elbow. Too strong.
Too much individual play right there. You've got to get the offense moving. You've got 1 guy dribbling and 4 guys standing around. Makes it too easy for Florida Atlantic. They're not really even having to do anything on defense.
FAU on an 8-0 run over the last 3 minutes. And they're going to call a block on Sims as Niang was backing down the much smaller sophomore. And Sims tried to pull the chair out from under him. And actually just pulled Niang down with that left hand. Second foul on Sims, and that'll be the 5th on Middle.
Man-to-man defense out of the baseline inbounds.
Forrest looking for Niang, and Sims falls out of bounds with it. And 19 seconds on the shot clock for the Owls.
There's an 8-inch disadvantage there for Donovan Sims trying to guard Niang right there out of the inbounds, but he uses quickness to stay in front of him, and it's still the matchup. So if you're FAU, I'd try to get it down there, but you can't do that if you turn the ball over.
Not sure what Adger tripped over. He's saying he took a forearm, but it's a turnover. Just the 8th turnover for the Owls. Alongside Alex Myers and Sarah Cardona, I'm Jake Rose. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday evening with us tonight here in Murfreesboro. Got a pretty good ball game going on. A nice Conference USA matchup. Both these teams looking for their first conference wins of the season. Both looking to avenge losses on Thursday night. Middle trying to snap a 10-game skid. Hawthorne tries to drop off for Scurry, rejected. And we've got a whistle on the floor with 3:51. Back and forth we go. Two Conference USA foes duking it out in the mid-state. FAU up one, 47-46. Stay with us here at the Murphy Center. Really good defense, forcing turnovers. Bad shot selection, really. 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Basketball is all about the first 5 minutes of the ball game, the last 5 of each half, really. And it's going to be all about who finishes this game stronger.
Well, Middle hasn't scored in 5 minutes, as there's 5 on the shot clock. Scurry, free throw line extended. Can't get it to go. And there just must be a lid on the top of this rim, as we saw FAU really struggle to score there in the first half. Middle really struggled here in the second. But Middle retains possession. Hawthorne spins, drives into traffic, and he's going to draw a foul in amongst the trees.
Being aggressive that time. Moving quickly, not hesitating. Hawthorne putting a dribble, spinning, turning, churning towards the basket. He's rewarded with a trip to the free throw line. Jake, it's astounding to think about the Owls right now. 60 shots from the field. Middle Tennessee with just 44.
Foul is on Carlos Schillich, as Hawthorne's first free throw is off the mark. Middle Tennessee, that is their 5th free throw attempt tonight. And they are 2 of 5. Really struggled with free throws down the stretch against FIU on Thursday. Hawthorne knocks down the second, and we are knotted up at 47 with under 3:30 to go.
Couldn't ask for much more than this. Tie ball game. Both teams have struggled of late, both Florida Atlantic in this matchup and Middle Tennessee on their 10-game skid. Both of these teams got an opportunity to change that right here.
Schillich recycled. James Hawthorne getting up. Three minutes to go. Johnson driving, scoops with the right hand, can't get it. Off the backboard and rebounded by Lepichev.
That's a big, big rebound right there. Nice one by Lepichev.
Free ball is good from Adger. And now the Owls with a 3-point lead. And the response from Antonio Green. We saw it to end the first half. We're seeing it again here to end the second half. Adger and Green trading bucket for bucket.
Than anyone that Middle Tennessee has on the floor offensively, I would try to take advantage of that. Let's see if they can.
And notice Xavion Stapleton is back on the floor for the Owls. Matrix drives, goes up with the right hand, can't get it to go. Lepichev with a rebound, puts it up with the left.
There's that height, making an impact.
And Lepichev's first 2 points of the ball game are critical.
Yeah, he's had a couple of nice possessions here. A couple possessions ago defensively, he had a huge impactful rebound. Now he comes out and gets a shot made.
And another turnover as Schillich comes away with a deflection. Florida Atlantic under 2 minutes to go. They lead by 2.
Ball pressure, key right here for Donovan Sims. Can't let him get comfortable and get their offense going early.
Owls trying to avoid their 5th loss in the last 8 games as we have a whistle. This one's going to go against Junior Farquhar. That's going to be his 3rd.
Farquhar trying to guard Stapleton. Even that right there is a 5-inch mismatch, and they were trying to get Stapleton down there near the block, and they got it to him, and Farquhar kind of just had to say, help guys, I've got a foul to try to stay in this one.
They go up top to Stapleton over the smaller Farquhar, and he delivers.
Too big of a height difference, guys. You've got to try to do something, maybe double, maybe get a switch, but that's just a huge disadvantage right there for Middle Tennessee.
FAU now out to a 4-point lead. Hawthorne's jumper, too strong off the back iron, and he hesitated. So that's a shot he's got to knock down.
Yeah, he absolutely does. You could tell it was off as soon as it left his hand, though, and wisely, Stapleton looking at his point guard, holding up his hand and say, guys, let's milk a little clock right here.
Hey, Trey tries to split the defense. Got to get out of the lane. And Dusty May is going to call a timeout with 11 seconds on the shot clock and 61 seconds left in this ball game. Obviously, Alex, Middle Tennessee has to score here. They've got to get a stop first, and they've got to stop seconds on the shot clock. FAU with a 4-point lead, 54-50, trying to pick up their first Conference USA win and the first win in conference for first-year coach Dusty May, as Farquhar is going to be rung up for his 4th foul.
And that's a bad foul in 2 situations. One, because you know they're still matching up with Farquhar right there when it's an obvious mismatch. And the other thing is, look at the shot clock now. You send the guy to the free throw line, and even if he wasn't shooting free throws, the shot clock would have gone back up. But to the free throw line, Stapleton goes with a chance to make it. Well, it's already a 3-possession game, but that's a foul you didn't need to make with 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Hasn't shot a free throw since before Thanksgiving, and the first one is pure. Second one is short, tipped, and he's got his own rebound. So Xavion Stapleton in his first game back in limited minutes, just 8 minutes, has shown up big in crunch time for the Owls and Dusty May. Hasn't played since November 25th, and in that game he had 27 points, as Anthony Adger will go to the line. Knocks down the first 6-point lead for the Owls.
28 points on the night for Adger, and maybe none bigger than this one, because if he knocks this down, it's a 3-possession game.
Rolls home to second. 7-0 run for the Owls over the last minute and a half, while Middle is just 1 for their last 10 offensively. Trying to find Green. Farquhar dribbles middle. Green pull-up 3 from the elbow. That one's short, but Carl Gamble with a tip-in and a quick timeout from Nick McDivitt.
Nice hustle play by Carl Gamble, fighting for the boards. He hasn't played a lot here in the second half, but he makes an impact right there. 5-point game. Watch Gamble. Doesn't have position, but he fights for it, uses habits you form. What you preach to your players during this time is what will ultimately lay the foundation, that bottom layer of your program as you start to build it up.
Stapleton takes it out, and Adger will be fouled by Green at half court. And Adger will go to the line now with a career-high 29 points. And what can you say about Anthony Adger? Talked about it all night. We thought Florida Atlantic would be without Stapleton tonight. We knew they would be without Jalen Seabury and Jalen Ingram. But Anthony Adger now with a career-high 30 points. And he has absolutely delivered for this Owls program.
And they've needed just about every single one of those just to keep in this ball game. And as you mentioned, what a performance.
Not only just the points, but he's been efficient. 9 of 16 from the floor. Farquhar drives. Schillich says no. Actually, count the bucket. Looked like from this angle, Schillich was going to drive it into the baseline. Just mistimed it. Nice play by junior Farquhar as Schillich got all arm. And Farquhar will go to the line.
Talking about Adger, though, I think as good as he's been on the offensive end, he's played really well on the defensive end as well tonight.
Free throws off the back iron, and Maitre comes up with it. And he's being hounded with 20 seconds, throws it ahead to Stapleton. Looking ahead to Zuzovic. Got Jace Johnson in the air, and that will put this one on ice. As Green will draw the foul from Stapleton with 9.5 to go. And FAU now with a 61-54 lead as the locals are heading for the exits.
I can just look around the crowd. Pretty good crowd for a Saturday afternoon when there's lots of stuff going on around town. But, you know, it's got to be really, really disappointing when you see another big lead that Middle Tennessee just couldn't hang on to. But you've really got to look in the mirror when you say, why are they blowing these leads? Specifically tonight, look at the turnovers and how many points off turnovers that Florida Atlantic has been able to capitalize on, and there's your difference in the ballgame.
Had a 14-point lead on Thursday night against FIU. Had a 15-point lead tonight with 5:23 to go in the first.
28 points off turnovers, just to 5 points off turnovers for Middle Tennessee. And as I mentioned a moment ago, that's the difference right there, Jake.
Absolutely, because FAU has only shot 33% from the floor. So it's not like they've put on a fantastic offensive performance outside of Adger, of course, who has actually outscored the rest of his team. As here's a look at the upcoming schedule for Middle Tennessee. They will head south to Hattiesburg to take on Southern Miss on January 10th before heading to Ruston to take on the Texters on January 12th, and they will be back here on January 17th to take on UTSA as Adger knocks down another pair of free throws. He's got 33 as Green drives, rebounded by the Owls, and that'll do it. So the Florida Atlantic Owls climb their way back from a 15-point first half deficit. They pick up their